Hi everyone, welcome back to Living Wisdom and Dharma World. Today we're delving into the legendary life story of Nāgārjuna and his profound philosophy, the middle way or Madhyamaka. It is not merely a theory or abstract idea. It is a transformative way of understanding reality that can liberate us from suffering and misconceptions. Through this video, we will uncover the depths of his teachings on emptiness, śūnyatā, dependent origination, pratītyasamutpāda, and the timeless wisdom he imparted to the world. Let's journey into the life, core thoughts, and legacy of this extraordinary philosopher, teacher, and spiritual luminary. Nāgārjuna's philosophy of the middle way. Nāgārjuna's philosophy, known as the middle way or Madhyamaka, is one of the most profound teachings in Mahayana Buddhism. At its core, it revolves around the concept of śūnyatā, or emptiness, which is an extension of the Buddhist teaching on dependent origination, pratītyasamutpāda. Nāgārjuna argues that all phenomena are devoid of intrinsic existence and arise only in dependence on causes, conditions, and relationships. This view avoids the extremes of eternalism, the belief in a permanent, unchanging essence, and nihilism, the belief that nothing exists or matters. For Nāgārjuna, emptiness does not imply that things do not exist at all. Instead, it highlights their lack of inherent, independent existence. This is demonstrated in his seminal text, the Madhyamaka, fundamental verses on the middle way, where he writes that whatever arises dependently, that is explained as empty. That, being a dependent designation, is itself the middle way. In this framework, all phenomena, including the self and the world, are empty of self-nature, svabhava, yet arise in dependence on other phenomena. Nāgārjuna's philosophy is not purely theoretical, but has profound practical implications. By understanding the emptiness of all things, individuals are liberated from attachment and aversion, which are rooted in misconceptions about reality. This realization leads to ultimate freedom from suffering and a deeper understanding of the nature of existence. Historical context. Nāgārjuna lived during the 2nd, 3rd century CE, a period when Buddhism was undergoing significant evolution. This was a time when different Buddhist schools, such as the Sarvastivada and Sautrantika, engaged in rigorous philosophical debates about the nature of reality. Many of these schools posited the existence of intrinsic nature in phenomena, which Nāgārjuna would later challenge with his philosophy of emptiness. This era also witnessed the rise of Mahayana Buddhism, which emphasized the ideal of the bodhisattva, universal compassion, and the cultivation of transcendent wisdom, Prajñāpāramitā. Nāgārjuna's thought provided a robust intellectual foundation for Mahayana teachings, particularly the Prajñāpāramitā Sūtras, which explore the nature of emptiness and ultimate reality. The legendary life story of Nāgārjuna, the Mahāsiddha of the Middle Way. Nāgārjuna, often referred to as the second Buddha, is one of the most revered figures in Buddhist philosophy. The Mahāsiddha means great adept, attaining the realization of siddhis, psychic and spiritual abilities and powers. He is celebrated for founding the Madhyamaka, middle way school of Mahayana Buddhism, which elucidates the profound teaching of emptiness, śūnyatā. While historical details of Nāgārjuna's life are somewhat obscure, a rich tapestry of legends surrounds his life, offering insight into his extraordinary wisdom and compassion. Below is a detailed narration of Nāgārjuna's legendary life. 1. The prophetic birth. Nāgārjuna was born in South India in a Brahmin family during a time of intellectual flourishing. His exact birthplace is debated, with some traditions identifying Vidarbha or Andhra Pradesh. According to legend, astrologers predicted at his birth that he would have an incredibly short lifespan of only 7 days. His distraught parents consulted an enlightened sage, who advised them to perform special rituals and dedicate the child to the Buddha. Following the sage's guidance, they named the child Nāgārjuna, meaning noble serpent or dragon. The name was prophetic, symbolizing his future connection with the Nagas, serpent-like beings, and the depths of wisdom he would uncover. Miraculously, through the power of these rituals and the young Nāgārjuna's karmic merits, his lifespan was extended. He grew up to be a highly intelligent and inquisitive child, demonstrating exceptional aptitude in all areas of learning, particularly in the Vedas and Hindu philosophy. 2. The turning point. Encountering the Buddha's teaching. As a young man, Nāgārjuna initially pursued Brahmanical studies, but found them unsatisfying. His spiritual thirst led him to explore alternative philosophies, including Jainism and materialistic schools. One day, he overheard a traveling Buddhist monk reciting verses from the Dharma. Deeply moved by the profound simplicity of the teachings, Nāgārjuna decided to join the Buddhist monastic order. He became a disciple at the Nalanda Monastery, the famed center of learning. Under the guidance of enlightened masters, Nāgārjuna quickly mastered the sutras, Abhidharma, and early Mahayana texts. However, his unrelenting curiosity drove him to explore the more profound and esoteric aspects of the Buddhist teachings. 3. The Naga realm and the Prajñāpāramitā Sūtras. The most famous legend of Nāgārjuna is his journey to the Naga realm to retrieve the hidden Prajñāpāramitā Sūtras, perfection of wisdom sutras. According to tradition, these profound teachings had been entrusted to the Nagas by the Buddha himself, as the world was not ready to fully comprehend their depth during his lifetime. Nāgārjuna, through his meditative abilities, established contact with the Naga king and was invited to their underwater palace. There, he discovered the Prajñāpāramitā texts, shimmering like pure gold, and recognized their unparalleled significance. The Naga king, impressed by Nāgārjuna's wisdom and spiritual attainment, entrusted the texts to him, foretelling that they would transform the spiritual landscape of the world. Returning to the human realm, Nāgārjuna began disseminating the teachings of the Prajñāpāramitā, unveiling the doctrine of śūnyatā, emptiness, and its profound implications for the nature of reality and liberation. 4. Founding the Madhyamaka school. Nāgārjuna's interpretation of the Prajñāpāramitā gave rise to the Madhyamaka school, which became a cornerstone of Mahayana Buddhism. He composed numerous treatises, including his magnum opus, the Mula Madhyamaka, Fundamental Verses on the Middle Way. This work systematically refuted all extreme views, demonstrating that reality is ultimately free of inherent existence, svabhava, while still functionally existing within conventional truth. Nāgārjuna emphasized the middle way, avoiding the extremes of eternalism, the belief in permanent, unchanging entities, and nihilism, the denial of existence altogether. His teachings on dependent origination, pratītyasamutpāda, and emptiness revealed the interconnected nature of all phenomena, laying the philosophical foundation for Mahayana practice. 5. The alchemist and siddha. Nāgārjuna was not only a philosopher, but also a master of tantric practices and alchemy. In many legends, he is depicted as a siddha, spiritual adept, with miraculous powers. He is said to have discovered the elixir of immortality and possessed the ability to transform base metals into gold, symbolizing his capacity to transmute ordinary beings into enlightened ones. One popular story describes how Nāgārjuna helped a poverty-stricken village by transforming iron into gold. However, he warned the villagers against greed, emphasizing that material wealth was transient and should be used wisely for the welfare of all. 6. Nāgārjuna and the King. Compassionate politics. Nāgārjuna's influence extended beyond monastic and philosophical circles. He formed a close relationship with King Gautamiputra Satakarni, ruler of the Satavahana dynasty. Acting as the king's spiritual advisor, Nāgārjuna emphasized the principles of Buddhist ethics in governance. He authored the Ratnavali, the Precious Garland, a treatise offering practical advice on how a ruler could govern with wisdom, compassion, and fairness. He urged the king to promote the welfare of all beings, avoid unnecessary violence, and uphold the Dharma. Nāgārjuna's guidance led to a golden age of prosperity and justice in the kingdom. 7. Nāgārjuna's later years and legacy. Nāgārjuna's later years were spent teaching, writing, and mentoring disciples. Among his most renowned disciples were Aryadeva, who continued the Madhyamaka tradition, and Kumaralata, who spread Nāgārjuna's teachings to distant lands. As his fame grew, Nāgārjuna encountered opposition from rival philosophical schools and even within certain Buddhist factions. However, his profound logic and compassionate demeanor won over critics and left an indelible mark on Buddhist thought. Legends say that Nāgārjuna voluntarily ended his life when a karmic debt from a past life resurfaced. According to one story, a prince sought Nāgārjuna's life to fulfill a family vow. Nāgārjuna, understanding the inevitability of karma, compassionately offered his head to the prince. Astonishingly, when the prince attempted to kill him, his sword could not harm Nāgārjuna. Finally, Nāgārjuna instructed the prince to use a blade made of grass, symbolizing the illusory nature of life and death. The act fulfilled the prince's karmic vow, and Nāgārjuna entered nirvana with serenity. Nāgārjuna's significance in and beyond Buddhist history. Nāgārjuna is widely regarded as the founder of the Madhyamaka school of Mahayana Buddhism, one of the most influential philosophical systems in Buddhist history. His systematic articulation of emptiness served as the intellectual cornerstone for Mahayana teachings, influencing both theoretical discourse and practical applications of the Buddhist path. Through his writings, Nāgārjuna not only unified Mahayana thought, but also addressed critiques from both internal Buddhist factions and external non-Buddhist traditions. His works influenced subsequent generations of Buddhist philosophers, including Aryadeva, Candrakirti, and Shantideva. In Tibet, Nāgārjuna is revered as a second Buddha, and his teachings form the foundation of Tibetan Buddhist traditions, particularly the Gelug school led by Tsongkhapa. Nāgārjuna's teachings continue to influence Buddhist philosophy, meditation, and ethics. His concept of emptiness transcends religious boundaries, resonating with contemporary scientific and philosophical discussions about the nature of reality. Beyond Buddhism, Nāgārjuna's dialectical method resonated with other Indian philosophical systems, such as Advaita Vedanta, and has been compared to Western philosophical approaches like Kant's critique of metaphysics and Heidegger's phenomenology. For instance, modern quantum physics echoes Nāgārjuna's insights by demonstrating that phenomena lack inherent existence and arise interdependently. Likewise, his emphasis on ethical governance remains a timeless guide for leaders striving to balance power with compassion. Nāgārjuna's influence in Buddhist history and Buddhism. Nāgārjuna is venerated as a bodhisattva, who dedicated his life to elucidating the path to enlightenment. His teachings on the middle way illuminate the delicate balance between understanding ultimate truth and engaging with conventional reality. Buddhist traditions, particularly in Tibet, China, Japan, and India, honor Nāgārjuna as a spiritual hero. In Tibetan Buddhism, he is regarded as a pivotal figure in the lineage of tantric masters, while Zen traditions trace their philosophical roots to his insights. Nāgārjuna's influence extends far beyond his own time and place. His philosophical system provided a coherent framework for Mahayana Buddhism, integrating its teachings on compassion and wisdom. The emphasis he placed on emptiness complemented the Mahayana ideal of the Bodhisattva, showing how ultimate wisdom and compassion are inseparable. His writings traveled widely across Asia, shaping Buddhist thought in regions such as China, Korea, Japan, and Tibet. In China, his philosophy influenced the Tiantai school, while in Japan, it informed the Zen tradition. Nāgārjuna's contributions to Buddhism are immense and multifaceted. His texts, including the Mula Madhyamaka, Vigrahavivartani, śūnyatā, and Ratnavali, remain central to Buddhist studies. These works offer rigorous philosophical arguments that defend the Buddha's teachings while also advancing Mahayana thought. In addition to his philosophical contributions, Nāgārjuna played a crucial role in bridging theory and practice. His teachings on the middle way are deeply practical, guiding practitioners toward liberation by helping them navigate the path between nihilism and absolutism. By clarifying the nature of reality, he empowered individuals to transcend egoistic attachments and cultivate boundless compassion for all beings. Nāgārjuna's emphasis on emptiness also provided a strong foundation for the Bodhisattva path. Understanding emptiness enables practitioners to eliminate misconceptions that fuel attachment and aversion, thereby deepening their commitment to universal compassion and wisdom. The core philosophy of Nāgārjuna's Madhyamaka, middle way, the Mula Madhyamaka, commonly referred to as the Madhyamaka Sastra, expounds the profound meaning of dependent origination and emptiness, elucidates the foundation of liberation from samsara, and serves as the gateway for all three vehicles of Buddhism. This work is one of Nāgārjuna Bodhisattva's most significant contributions, offering a comprehensive exposition of the middle way. By dismantling both extremes, clinging to existence and attachment to nihilism, it established Mahayana Buddhism as a self-standing tradition, independent of earlier Hinayana schools, creating the unique school of Mahayana Madhyamaka philosophy. Nāgārjuna writes in the Mula Madhyamaka, neither arising nor ceasing, neither permanent nor annihilated, neither identical nor different, neither coming nor going. If one truly understands these words, they can unlock the unobstructed essence of the Prajñāpāramitā Sūtras and comprehend the entirety of the Buddhist teachings delivered over 49 years. These lines encapsulate the ultimate truth of the middle way reality, which is the essence distilled from the Buddha's 22 years of teaching the Prajñā Sūtras. If we deeply understand and skillfully integrate this principle into our daily lives, in every activity of walking, standing, sitting, lying, speaking, remaining silent, or in stillness and motion, then we will experience harmony and freedom. Such understanding allows us to live a carefree, joyful life, transforming even this fivefold corrupt world of samsara into the pure land of Vairocana, or the lotus assembly of Amitabha. The truth in these lines from the Mula Madhyamaka aligns with what is said in the Heart Sutra. Neither stained nor pure, neither increasing nor decreasing. Both teachings convey the same ultimate truth of the middle way reality. 1. Neither arising nor ceasing. What arises is the form, but what does not cease is the nature. Forms are subject to arising and ceasing, just as the human body is born and dies, revolving endlessly in the cycle of birth and death across the 6 realms. This cycle, known as samsara, involves a continuous transformation of form, akin to the ceaseless changes of day and night, or the rotation of the 4 seasons. Day emerges as night disappears, and night descends as day retreats. The spring, summer, autumn, and winter rotate unceasingly. Thus, forms are momentary and ever-changing. However, all such forms are illusory appearances arising from dependent origination and the emptiness of inherent nature. These appearances are but false perceptions generated by our ignorance of our intrinsic nature. All phenomena arise from the mind's thoughts. The myriad manifestations of the universe are but illusions created by the interplay of mind and perception. What is truly unchanging is the true mind, which is the essence referred to as Buddha nature. This Buddha nature is immutable, unwavering, and indestructible. All forms are transient illusions that arise due to conditions. Since these forms are dependent on conditions, they lack an intrinsic nature and are inherently empty. Thus, they cannot truly arise nor cease. Arising and ceasing are merely illusions perceived by ordinary beings. For example, a person with an eye disease may see double or multiple images where there is only one. These illusory perceptions arise from their condition and do not reflect reality. Similarly, arising and ceasing exist only in the deluded mind. 2. Neither permanent nor annihilated. Ordinary people, due to their ignorance of the ultimate reality of phenomena, cling either to permanence or annihilation. Clinging to permanence means believing that all things in phenomena exist as eternal, unchanging realities. This mistaken belief assumes that phenomena are inherently existent and will never perish. In truth, all phenomena in the universe are momentary and subject to continuous transformation. For example, humans undergo birth, aging, sickness, and death. Plants experience growth, decay, and extinction. Even minerals eventually erode and disperse. Though the lifespan of celestial bodies like stars may span billions of years, they too ultimately collapse and disappear into the void of space. Whether something endures for mere moments or eons, when compared to the vastness of the universe, all existence is but an ephemeral flash, insignificant in the grand scale of time and space. Conversely, those who perceive the impermanence of things may cling to annihilation, believing that everything ceases entirely upon destruction. This leads to the view that death is the absolute end, akin to the extinguishing of a lamp, with no continuation of existence. This nihilistic view often fosters indulgence in hedonistic pleasures, disregard for karmic causality, and moral transgressions for personal gratification. Such views overlook the profound truth. Though all conditioned phenomena are transient and impermanent, the underlying reality, the continuum of life and consciousness, persists uninterrupted. Death is but the shedding of one form, followed by the assumption of another. Grass withers, but regrows. Life ceases, but arises anew. Life itself embodies a dynamic interplay of arising and ceasing, continuity and transformation. Recognizing this truth reveals the futility of clinging to either permanence or annihilation. Life's meaning and value emerge from understanding and harmonizing with this ever-changing reality enabling one to live with dignity, purpose, and illumination. 3. Neither identical nor different. The term one in Buddhism refers to the ultimate reality, the unified true nature of all existence. This unity is the intrinsic, unchanging essence, referred to as the true reality, tathata. As the Chan saying goes, all phenomena return to one, and this one is the ultimate reality. When the mind enters this one, it achieves clarity and equanimity, free from dualistic distinctions. Different refers to the varied and diverse phenomena that manifest in the phenomenal world. These phenomena are distinct in their forms and characteristics. Not identical indicates the myriad external forms and appearances that are infinitely diverse and constantly changing, like the patterns in a kaleidoscope. While phenomena differ endlessly, they all arise from the same essence. Just as the myriad images in a kaleidoscope originate from a single source, so too do all phenomena emerge from the same reality. Thus, the statement, neither identical nor different, underscores the unity of essence and the diversity of phenomena. Phenomena are transient, arising and ceasing endlessly, while their underlying essence remains unchanged. Understanding this reveals the interpenetration of form and essence, enabling one to grasp the ultimate harmony of all existence. 4. Neither coming nor going. The fundamental reality of the universe is inherently pure, unchanging, and beyond all dualities. It is empty of any inherent existence and free from any notions of coming or going. Coming and going, like birth and death, are merely illusory appearances. In truth, the mind is omnipresent and pervades all places. It is neither confined to a specific location nor subject to movement. The mind transcends the illusions of time and space. As the Lotus Pond Assembly reminds us, the body resides in the lotus, illuminated by Buddha's light. The mind follows the Buddhas to the Pure Land, yet in truth, neither comes nor goes. In terms of ultimate reality, paramartha, there is no coming or going on, no arising or ceasing. However, in conventional terms, samvrti, the Pure Land, and Amitabha Buddha exist as conditions for practice and aspiration. Recognizing both perspectives, ultimate and conventional, allows one to harmonize practice with insight. Nāgārjuna's Mula Madhyamaka invites us to transcend ordinary views, realize the nature of emptiness, and awaken to the unobstructed clarity of the middle way. Conclusion: the eternal luminary. Nāgārjuna's philosophy of the middle way is a monumental contribution to Buddhist thought and practice. By synthesizing the Buddha's teachings on dependent origination and emptiness, he provided a profound framework for understanding reality and achieving liberation. His influence on Buddhist philosophy, ethics, and meditation has endured for over 2 millennia, cementing his place as one of the most important figures in the history of Buddhism. Nāgārjuna's life story, woven with miraculous events and profound teachings, serves as an inspiration for practitioners across the world. His emphasis on emptiness or śūnyatā, compassion, and the middle way remains a guiding light for those seeking liberation. As Nāgārjuna himself wrote in the Mula Madhyamaka, I prostrate to the Buddha who taught dependent origination, a marvel of teaching that pacifies all views. Through his wisdom and compassion, Nāgārjuna bridged the human and transcendent realms, leaving an eternal legacy that continues to guide countless beings toward enlightenment. Thank you for joining me on this journey to explore Nāgārjuna's legendary life and his middle way philosophy. By delving into his teachings and applying his profound insights to our daily contemplation and practice, we can reveal our own Buddhahood and live with greater clarity, wisdom, compassion, and altruism. If you found this video insightful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Feel free to leave a comment sharing the insights you gained. Your reflections may inspire and enlighten others on their own paths. Wishing you peace, happiness, and well-being.